gonna go ahead and click that start stream button. Give it a second. Well, it hit. My girlfriend broke up with me. I'm sad. Yeah, I loved her. Okay, yeah, it's up now. It's up now. It's up now.
It's gonna echo real bad.
Oh no.
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna mute it, of course.
Well, once it rolls over to 4, then I'll actually start with introduction and shit. But for now, we're just kind of chill into the lo-fi beats of Cadence of Hyrule. I really need to get that game.
It's really fun.
How much is it?
I'm not sure. I think it's 20.
Oh, that's not too bad. Anyways, it just rolled over to 4. So hi guys, how's it going? We all having a good day? And so for later context, this was recorded after the first week of the NNN ARG, and we thought for future, use and research that it would be a good idea to just kind of go over the weekly happenings, so that people who want to look back on it or find information about it can just come and look at one of the archived live streams and just, basically figure out what was going on in that week. So I am Nixian. I run one of the Discords that go along with the ARG. Joining me are Lurf. I want to say
hello.
Hi. And we also have Psych.
Hi.
And Blueberry is also here just for fun.
Hi.
So, the first week of the ARG, not much really happened. Interesting things happened. I can't say that it didn't have an interesting start. But before the ARG even happened, on the 1st of September, the Twitch channel was made. And this was like a good month before anybody knew anything about the ARG, which was a little interesting. But on the 3rd of October, the first post about finding any of the flyers was posted to r/ARG, so we don't know if it, if anybody was given any flyers beforehand or what. This is just the first known post about it online. And after that, a few people visited the website, which you're looking at right now, and signed up to become a member. As of the posting date of this, nobody has gotten confirmed to enter the login. Upsetting. And a few people follow the Twitch channel. The next day, on the 4th, the first stream goes up at 8 p.m. Eastern. So Psych was actually part of the first live stream, so I'll have her, talk a little bit about that.
Now?
Mm-hmm.
Did my audio cut out or no?
It did for a second. Oh no, Psych's dying.
I know.
So did
Oh
I
no.
talk about it now?
Yes, talk about it now.
Yes.
All right. All right. Okay, so I did join. So I watched the first live stream, and I think usually there are only around like 11 people watching at any moment. It wasn't. Nothing really happened. There were only a few people talking in chat. Peeb was the other one mainly, and there was a Twitch extension where it was like this little so it's like a little brain map where it showed 2 hemispheres, right and left.
I can pull it up right now. This is the extension she's talking about.
Yeah. And so you could vote, and then it showed like a test subject in is it MMI?
I believe it was.
Yeah, so it showed a test subject in there, and they had like a band, like this little like thing around their head. It showed 2 monitors, And so the left one showed like another picture of a brain, and I don't think it lit up in the first stream, but it started doing that later. Of the voting. And then the right monitor switched between showing the patient and then showing what was the recording of their dreams. So we tried by voting all right, and we did that for several things, but it didn't do anything. Like nothing special happened, and it seemed like there were 3 or 4 dream clips that just kept cycling through randomly because they started to get really repetitive. Near the end of the stream, we were going to try just not voting at all, but then the stream ended like a few seconds after that.
And if I recall, the stream was an hour and 14 minutes?
Yes.
Okay. We did get later confirmation that the streams would all be about an hour and 20 minutes, so this isn't, like, they weren't watching the stream and being like, oh, they're not gonna vote, and just cut it. No, it was probably planned that it would end it about there, so. As Syke said, the Twitch extension was found on that day, and it was originally on version 0.0.2, and the description mentioned that it was made by Miss Bailey Rosser, who works at Twitch, which just kind of coincided with, they're verified by Twitch without meeting some of the requirements, etc., etc. I'll get into that later. On the 5th is when the ARG really kind of picked up a lot of heat, when Inside of Mind posted their video about it. Following that, a few Discords were made, and a few subreddits. But the main one that everybody's been using has been r/new Noology network, which I think I have linked down. Yes, I do. So if you want to go check that out later, go ahead. But also later that same day, it was like 9 Eastern. It was like really late. There was a new posting on one of the Reddits about a new flyer that contained a phone number, which is 888-380-6365. And when you call it, it would give you like 2 options. One would be press 1 to sign up to become a test subject in one of the upcoming trials, but whenever you did it, it would say, oh, we're full up. But if you waited until after that, it would prompt you to put in an SSID if you are a government official, an employee, or something like that. And again, as of the posting of this, we have not been able to find the SSID. And finally,
I do want to point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. You're going to that. Never mind.
I was just gonna say finally another flyer like the original one in the original posting was found in Montreal, Canada, which was eventually confirmed by someone in our Discord who goes by the name of Sam. And Sam was helpful enough to give me a little bit more context on how the flyers are given out. According to him, they're handed out by an advertisement agency and not actual NNN staff. So we don't know how long that'll stay true, if NNN staff will start handing them out themselves, but all we know is, as of the posting of this, they've all been by an advertisement company. What were you going to say?
For the phone number, there's actually a third option after the government employee SSID thing. If you continue to just not enter anything and stay on the line, it says that if you were contacted by drone or some other means to stay on the line, and eventually you'll hear a series of beeping and it'll hang up. We've not determined if the beeping is a code or something. If it is, we're not sure how to translate it because it does not seem to be Morse.
That's great.
And it is different from the other beeping on the phone call.
I have to add that to my notes, and the last thing on that page is the phone call information, and I have no room to add that to the notes. That's amazing. So following that, on the 6th, we saw that the Twitch extension was updated to version 0.0.3, we're unsure what really updated, because according to Peeb and Psych, nothing was really changed on the voting thing.
Yeah, it seemed the same.
But Psych said that there was no lighting up of the brain during the live stream, the first one. But during the second and third one, it did, and it corresponded to what we voted, so it might be something like that. The only thing that we know that was different about the extension was the removal of Miss Bailey's name from the description. So we kind of have dropped Bailey Rosser as a lead in the investigation we've been doing, just for the, safeness of her and her family. We don't want to, mess with somebody's life that we don't need to. After, almost immediately after we noticed the extension updated, a live stream happened at 2 p.m. Eastern. And while the first test subject in the first stream looked a lot like Miss Rosser herself, the subject in this stream was a black male in his late 20s to mid 30s. We don't have a name, we just have the description. Another flyer was found later that day at UCLA with the phone number, which was where the first flyer was found. So, interesting. And then during the live stream itself, the NNN channel responded to a few questions we had, just talking about their practices, some of the things they were doing. Not really going into great detail, but there was a Twitter account made the previous day under the NNN name, and we were basically able to confirm that was, fake, bogus. And when I checked earlier today, that fake account was deleted. Sadly, it had a lot of really good memes. Nothing happened on the 7th aside from us poking around the source code of the website. But on the 8th, another Twitch stream went live at 8 p.m. Eastern. The interesting thing about this stream specifically was there was a man actually sitting at the desk this time with a laptop watching the stream while he watched the test subject. We believe this man is named Brian due to the email attached to the extension. It's the only name we have to go with. So we've just been calling this male Brian, just so we have a name to attach him to. I'll be sure to update that if we ever find out that it's not Brian, but for the time being, we'll refer to him as Brian. And basically what he didn't respond to anything during the live stream, which was weird. He just kind of watched it while eating Chinese food, and watching over the test patient, which was kind of interesting because in these previous live streams, there was nobody sitting at the desk watching it. It was just the stream of, us looking at the test subject and watching the monitors. And it was weird that he didn't respond to anything.
Wasn't there someone walking past the screen in the first stream, though?
Yeah, there was one guy that walked past in the first
Well,
stream.
there were... he didn't sit down. He was in the room, but we didn't know until later on, so...
It's on for 2 seconds, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So, we don't know. It was weird. This is the first time that anybody has stayed on stream for a substantial amount of time. It also says in here in the notes that Brian is a snack. He a thick boy. And as of today, we have no actual updates on anything. So can't really update you on anything today. So that's really everything that we can confirm thus far. We have poked around in the source code a little bit, and I'm gonna let Lurf and Psych take the lead on that since they are way smarter than me when it comes to that.
All right, I've just been scanning back over the source code to see if there's anything I missed before I talked, but essentially, everything that's to be found in the source code has been found. If you find any links or emails or websites within the source code, it is all connected to just the base code of the website. A lot of the videos out there are test videos that are used for multiple websites to see how video streaming is, and I assume the videos within the website were used to test how the head would be displayed on the website before they uploaded that actual video. There is only one site in particular on this in the source code that may be a fruit because it has the NNN within it. I will, as soon as I find it, I will link it. But it basically has a login, and it's like an archive of something. I assume, it has a little bit of login. I tried logging in with Brian's email, and then I tried to see if Brian's email even had an account on the website. I ended up accidentally making an account for his email. It was a bit of a trip. Thus far, we have no idea the login to see that information, and I would not push it just in case. Other than that, there is some VR code within the website. We assume it's just so the website can be viewed in VR. The specific device they stated to be used was the Google Daydream. And if anyone has tried it with that headset, we're unsure if anything different happens than just viewing it with a regular old Oculus. There is also mention of various game code. I remember specifically there being a mention of being able to edit a child character. That was pretty interesting. It mentioned console use for PC, 360, and the PS3, and we're still really unsure what that's about, other than possibly just being able to view the site on those consoles. There's one specific part of the code that has got me stumped. It is a sequence of numbers that just does not seem to fit in. I will copy and paste it now. We've tried translating it into Morse code and all that good stuff, and so far we have bared no fruit. Possibly someone else may be able to means, and if it is anything. It could just be something that I do not have the knowledge to understand, but no. And posting it in the findings chat.
There also seemed to be something for when you eventually can log in, and it had a few headings, and one was dashboard, global consciousness, and then video submissions. But there isn't much there.
One thing we
There is
can
also,
confirm with the source code that I just want to point out is we did find that the login does try to route out to something, but it just 404 errors. So we aren't sure if it's because they put something in wrong or that they just haven't opened up the login yet. We just know that even if we have a valid login, we won't be able to even if we tried.
We also found an avatar image, which can be found within the Google Doc of information. It is a woman with kind of looks like freckles around her lips and gauze wrapped around her to mimic her of a mummy. We assume it was just a test to see how an avatar would look like on the website, be able to have accounts on there and possibly chat or to identify ourselves. Really have to say on the matter of the source code. There seems to be a lot there, but off of, and most of it is just usual website junk.
So that was basically just to answer any questions that people had about the source code, because we've had multiple people come to us and ask, hey, I found this thing, is this important? And we already found it like 2 days prior. So there's that. That's all we really have to update you on. So if anybody in the chat has any specific questions about what's going on thus far, feel free to ask them now. We'll be able to answer them to the best of our ability. So if you have a question about, oh, what's the main overarching plot, I can tell you we don't know. But we'll try to inform you guys the best we can if you have any questions. How thick is Brian from 1 to 10? Oh, that's a tough question. I'd say he's a decent 8.5. What do you guys think? What do you think? I'd give Brian an 8.5 out of 10 for thickness. What about you?
Crucified Shrek,
No,
this is an ARG. We have confirmation.
Yes, we have confirmed that. One of our mods knows the actual creator and has confirmed it is an ARG. So, that's good. Does anybody have any... I saw a question earlier. Do you think Brian is related to the phone number identification? We have we thought that when he was opening up his laptop again in the live stream yesterday, that his code or his password he was going to have to type into the laptop was going to be the confirmation code that we needed to get into the phone. But it seems like that might be the case, but we probably aren't, far enough along to actually use the SSID is what we're thinking. So, because it did look like somebody was telling him off screen, just keep it closed, leave it alone.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this is just one giant marketing campaign for Chinese food?
Yes.
I mean, I can't confirm or deny anything, but if the government ask, no. I'm joking. What we're thinking is it's more than likely viral marketing. We have a lot of theories about different games and different movies. But for the most part, we believe it is an ARG for viral marketing. I saw a question up here earlier that I just didn't answer. Did someone record the beeping that you mentioned earlier, which you weren't sure? I think we have a recording of the beeping somewhere.
Of the phone calls?
No, the beeping at the end of the phone call. I don't know if we have like the entirety of that phone call recorded. I know we have.
In the Google Doc, there was all three sequences were documented, so
Okay.
I think it might be.
So
in the
yes, we
Google
should
Doc.
have that in the Google Doc. Is there something I could do from England? Maybe put some posters up. It's not that us putting up posters would help. Like just looking into it as much as you can, helping us investigate, anything. Like if you find some stuff in England and just tell us where you found it, if you end up finding anything, that would be amazing. That would help us exponentially. Do we actually think the guy in the live stream is actually Brian, or are we just memeing? I personally think it would be Brian, just because that makes the most sense. The only name of a character we have in the ARG right now is Brian. And typically, when you give us a name, you show us that character first. So we haven't confirmed it, but we have a strong belief that it is Brian.
Speaking of viral marketing, do you think this has anything to do with Christopher Nolan's upcoming film Tenet? I personally do not, just because of the very little we know about the movie. It seems to be a spy movie. It just does not seem to fit the theme of the ARG.
Yeah, the ARG is about like dreams and a sleep study. So we had somebody come up to us with a theory about it being for a new Stephen King movie coming out about dreams. I forgot the name of it. But all they had to go off of was that it was about dreams. That's really it. So we don't know, or we're not going to confirm or say that it's viral marketing for anything yet. Because, Dr. Sleep. Thank you, Dog. But the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 ARG that was viral marketing, nobody knew that it was, you know, Vampire the Masquerade the Bloodlines 2 until they confirmed it. We don't have confirmation that Twitch is involved per se. We have, I mean, it's probably, you know, why else would they be verified without hitting the 500-minute mark of the verification process? Or like 10 streams, I think it was. So Twitch is either part of the marketing and they're helping market it, or they've been in the works with this for a while, trying to figure out how it was going to be done. But I don't think Twitch will have a bigger part to play in it besides hosting the streams. How trustworthy is the Discord mod that says he has... Oh, he is very trustworthy. The mod who actually got the information was Reg. And, well, he's been doing YouTube stuff for ARGs for a while, and he has a few connections with bigger ARGs. So
He's the mod on quite a few servers.
Yeah, he has. So he's very, very trustworthy when it comes to this. Like, he would... how he explained it was the guy who's doing it said, yo, check this out, and showed him the set. So that's how trustworthy it is. You know, the film Inception, do you think that was one of the theme or the theories we had, that it was like, you know, had something to do with like an Inception remake or sequel or something. But
that's
again,
very unlikely.
Again, we don't want to say it's going one way or another, because my thing is, the more we know about the back end of the ARG, the less fun it is to figure out what's going on. So I'd rather not know more back end stuff than I need to. That's why I haven't been big on thinking, oh, it could be this, it could be this. Like, for all we know, this could be an ARG for Breath of the Wild 2. You know, we just don't have enough information yet to, you know, definitively say what it is. And about mod applications, I'm going to take a look at them right after the stream is done. Do we have any questions that don't pertain to, oh, could it be viral marketing for this, this, or this? And like, I'd like, if you have any questions about like the actual ARG or things you don't understand about the story so far that we could explain to... I'm not gonna answer that question about the Holocaust because that's stupid. Of course it was real, and, you know... Anyways. So...
Yeah, it's an awful thing.
But that's not what this is about. And I'm upset
very
that
unrelated.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sad that I had to do that on something that's going to be archived. So yeah, I guess that's all we really can say right now, since there's no more real questions. If you're watching this sometime in the future and the ARG is still going on, we have some links in the description for, first off, our Discord, the ARG's website and their Twitch, and then the main Reddit that we've been using. With that being said, I don't think we have anything else to go over unless, you know, anybody else here has something to say.
Not really, no. Wait.
Oh, do you think this ARG will require us to data mine or go into the source code, or do we think that all the clues and answers will be given to us? From what we've seen of the source code, it doesn't seem like we're gonna have to data mine anything. We just kind of did it because some ARGs have been like that, to where you need to look into the source code. So we were just kind of getting that out of the way now. Plus, we don't really have any big leads, so normally when we don't have any leads, that's typically what you do. You look at what you can. So I don't think in the future, once we can log in, we will have to look in the source code, but we probably still will because that's what we do. And to ask a follow-up question that I'll answer, do I think that we'll have to go out to any IRL locations and find anything? Because I'm sure that's a question people are going to have in the future. It's likely. It is likely that we will have to go out to some physical locations at some point. But for what reasons, I don't know. I just have a feeling in my gut that we might have to go out to do something physical. You know, maybe it's just hand out some flyers or something, you know? And any mod-related questions that aren't about the ARG, I'll answer in the Discord, so we can just have that out. Yeah, if the GM does see us in the source code, they might do something crazy, you know? Like, who's to say that they didn't add some things to throw us off already? Who knows? So, if nobody has no other questions, then we can call this weekly recap a close. Alright, well, thank you guys for joining us. And we hope to have more information for you next week. We hope, but with how things have been going thus far, we aren't 100% sure. So, fingers crossed. We'll at least have recaps of the live streams, at the very least. For the last question, also, do we think they're keeping an eye on the Discord? We can't confirm, but since they were watching the live stream, I personally believe that they are keeping an eye on the Discords. Like, if I was a GM, I would keep I would keep an eye on the Discords, just because, you know, I'd want to know what's going on and to make sure that nobody's, you know, going to dox anyone. So, personally, I do believe they are watching the Discords, but I don't want to kind of find them out because, you know, we don't, like with Bailey Rosser, we don't want to mess with anybody's personal life. We're here for an ARG, we're here to have a fun time, we're here to build a community, not ruin people's lives. And I think that is a good question to end on. Like I said, we will do this again next week. Probably about the same time. So if you miss anything, don't worry about it. These streams will be archived. Learn to speak. So yeah, no witch hunts. Yeah, let's say hi, Brian, to end the stream. Hi, Brian.
Hi, Brian.
Hi, Brian.
We will see you guys next week.